I just think it was because of my dirty work, not because I was just the toughest. You know what I'm saying?
Tonight, a Brooklyn rapper who goes by the stage name Casanova is wanted by the FBI. His real name is Caswell Sr., and the feds say he's a member of a street gang. Sr. is one of 18 members charged with trafficking and racketeering in the city and upstate.
The charges against me are false. They don't represent or reflect the person that I am.
Proclaimed blood gang member who pleaded guilty to federal conspiracy charges last year was involved in a vicious fight yesterday at the Essex County Correctional Facility in Newark.
They don't tell you what comes with being tough or being a gangster. They don't tell you you lose your family, you lose your kids. People lose you.
Ayo squad, what's the drill? Back with another video, man. Casanova 3 times was a Brooklyn rapper with a lot of promise and a fairly solid career despite being from NYC and not doing drill. He was once signed to Jay-Z's Rock Nation label and had hits like Don't Run and Set Trippin'. However, Don't Run would turn out to be a title he had to live out himself after the feds made it known that they had him in their sights. It was alleged that he was a high-profile leader of a vicious street gang called the untouchable Gorilla Stone Nation, a supposed gang that was believed to be in numerous crimes and wild incidents, one of them being a shootout at a Miami house party that left a man seriously injured. Cass and his crew ultimately got added to the long list of rappers and rapper affiliates who got hit with the RICO. After getting sentenced to a dime plus 5, Casanova is faced with a reality that he more than likely blew his shot at rap stardom. In this video, we're gonna break down the Casanova 3 times trial and sentencing and reveal how he went from being a rising star in the rap game to being an inmate with a number for the second time. And after denouncing his gang and paying the price for it, things are a bit grim for the gorilla. So without further ado, let's skip the play and get down to business. The real downfall came in December of 2020 when authorities announced the indictment of 18 people, including Casanova himself, in connection to a world of gang-related crimes including racketeering, homie, illegal substances, firearms, and fraud offenses. The acting U.S. Attorney Audrey Strauss and other law enforcement officials issued a statement accusing those named in the indictment of being a part of the untouchable Gorilla Stone Nation gang, operating in New York City and parts of New York State. It was said that 17 of the 18 named in the indictment were in custody. The FBI New York's office issued a tweet saying Casanova, whose legal name is Caswell Sr., was still being hunted down. Members of Gorilla Stone committed terrible acts of mayhem, trafficked in narcotics, and even engaged in brazen fraud by exploiting benefit programs meant to assist in response to the COVID-19 pandemic, Strauss said in the statement. One of those indicted was accused in connection with an unfortunate deletion of a minor in Poughkeepsie, New York on September 21st, 2022. The others were indicted in connection to charges including assault, illegal substance distribution, and weapons possession. 2 people were charged with falsely using other people's identity information to file for COVID-19 unemployment benefits. Man, that was the lick for a minute. I can't lie, the hood was eating for sure. Casanova turned himself in a few days after the indictment was made public. The New York rapper pled not guilty to the charges of conspiracy to commit racketeering, conspiracy to distribute controlled substances, and firearms possession.
Rapper Casanova has officially been arrested for his alleged gang involvement. The rapper surrendered to police at the Midtown South Precinct in Manhattan last night.
His defense attorney said Casanova had been painted with a broad brush of conspiratorial conduct and an indictment short on specifics. He expects to be exonerated, he told the Associated Press. He denies any of the charges to the extent we can even understand them. Here's a man who surrendered in a case for which he's looking at life in prison, which is consistent with the act of an innocent man. Before the trial, Casanova has ceaselessly proclaimed his innocence. Unfortunately, the rapper's legal battle has continued to worsen after being accused of attempted homicide in a superseding indictment. According to the New York Post, the attempted hit charges stem from an incident that occurred outside of the King of Diamonds nightclub in Miami back in October 2020, during which Casanova and another man got into a verbal altercation where both started set tripping. Allegedly, he asked the man, "You want to lose your life tonight?" before his man Jared J.C. Chrysler allegedly opened fire, wounding the man and another bystander outside of the venue. According to authorities, Chrysler boasted about his involvement in the incident via text message, allegedly writing, "Killed a ninja last night, SMH. It's on the news. 2 of them I only shot twice, meaning I ain't miss a shot. Greatest shot in the world. You trying to challenge me? LOL." Casanova and another co-defendant, Deshaun Don Thomas, also alleged to have assaulted somebody in New York and opened fire on a rival gang member in another shooting incident in Miami, both of which occurred in 2020. Casanova and Thomas have both been charged with assault with a dangerous weapon and aid of racketeering. Man, it must be something in the Miami area that got NY dudes feeling like they okay corralling it. All these honeys out there and all they could think about is busting something that ain't some cheeks. Fast forward to 2022 when Casanova was faced with a grim reality and decided to plead guilty in his RICO to 1 count of conspiring to conduct and participate in the conduct of the affairs of a criminal enterprise through a pattern of racketeering activity, and another count of conspiring to distribute over 100 kilograms of Mary Jane.
Brooklyn-born rapper Casanova pleads guilty to federal racketeering and charges. The U.S. Attorney's Office claims Casanova led the untouchable guerrilla Stone Nation Bloods gang and directed a multi-state conspiracy.
According to the U.S. Attorney's statement, Casanova admitted with his guilty plea to popping at somebody with whom he was having a gambling dispute at a Florida party in July 2020. He also admitted to participation in an herb trafficking and 2018 robbery. According to Casanova's lawyer, John Kousouros, the previous charges of attempted homicide and assault with a dangerous weapon were dismissed. Mr. Senior accepted responsibility for his conduct, which was his possession with intent to sell herb, and the robbery of a young lady in a diner who was filming him with her phone, Kousouros wrote to Pitchfork. "We hope that our presentation to the court in advance of sentencing will illuminate the facts and circumstances surrounding the case and present Mr. Senior for the person that he really is." Then comes 2023, the year that bruh won't ever forget for as long as he lives. On June 27th, a New York federal judge sentenced the boy to 188 months in prison.
Casanova has officially been sentenced for his alleged crimes as a part of the untouchable Guerrilla Stone Nation gang. On Tuesday, June 27th, Casanova, whose real name is Caswell Sr., received 188 months or 15 years behind bars from U.S. District Judge Philip P. Halpern.
Caswell Sr. is not just a notorious recording artist, but he is also a high-profile leader of a vicious street gang and a magnet for gang violence, U.S. Attorney Damian Williams said in a statement after the sentencing, adding that Casanova's stature had helped the gang recruit and expand nationwide. Gang violence is not worth it and will lead to many years in prison, he said. Ahead of the sentencing, federal prosecutors requested a prison term ranging from 188 to 235 months, calling Casanova a high-profile gang leader who had amplified the message of the gang through his music, helping to recruit a generation of new members. He did not simply pretend in his music or on social media, the government wrote. Unfortunately, he walked the walk. Senior's offense conduct is not about a few song lyrics or how he marketed his music. Rather, he carried out an array of street activity and significant narcotics trafficking that benefited some of the gang's most impactful members. Casanova's attorney argued that he should receive a sentence well below the guidelines. They said that he was not involved in the gang's daily activities and had started to distance himself from the group as his music career took off, including having denouncing gang life in some of the public statements.
Casanova wrote a letter to the judge, which, not to quote Troy Apt's line, but Casanova letter to judge, and this is a pre-sentencing letter, and he basically is renouncing his gang ties. So when he was free, he was the Big 8, but now he's saying he wants to be a civilian.
Albeit, the denouncing took place mere weeks before sentencing. It would appear that the bold move was not without immediate repercussions either. In fact, Cas got his face slashed up in a prison altercation at the Essex County Correctional Facility in Newark, New Jersey. The incident occurred on Thursday, June 15.
However, there was an incident where they believe that he was cut and sliced in the face.
The alleged suspect butcher was identified as a fellow inmate named Eustace Lugo. Cass and a group of men then allegedly chased down Lugo and returned the favor, cutting Lugo several times in the face. When officers responded to the scene, both Lugo and Casanova were covered in blood. Anthony Puglisi, a spokesperson for the prison, referred to it as a minor incident.
These internal reports from correction officers say Senior was slashed with a weapon by another inmate, Ulysses Lugo, and then chased him down with the help of others.
Nevertheless, Casanova's lawyer stated the fact is Mr. Senior stayed in this gang as it furthered his career. As he gained moderate success and then a recording contract with Roc Nation, he increasingly separated himself from the gang's activity despite remaining a member. In a statement to Billboard, he also said that he and his client were gratified that the court acknowledged the productive messages that Mr. Senior had been giving against gang life over the past several years and sentenced him to the lowest end of the guidelines. On Wednesday, June 28th, the day after his unfortunate sentencing, Casanova shared a short message to his fans.
Wrap up, he also reacted to the sentencing and said, quote, "Everything to the chin, nothing to the heart. I get it now. I hope that don't go over your head."
Everything to the chin, nothing to the heart. I get it now. I hope that don't go over your heads, his tweet read, which alluded to the title of his forthcoming album, Some Things Cannot Be Taught, They Must Be Experienced. You never learn the most valuable lessons in life until you go through your own journey, Cass advised to the masses. Hopefully his followers take heed. The Brooklynite's girlfriend, Swaggy Jazzy, also hit social media to show love to her man. "I love you, baby. We gon' walk that ish down," she continued by shooting down reports of the slashing he received behind bars. "Now that he's sentenced, let me address this. I said to him, they said you got a $150, baby. He videoed and called me and said, they must be talking about that $150 you put on my commissary. Yeah, alright. All I'ma say is, let's check up on Jazzy in a couple years and see if she's still singing that same tune."
Honestly, I'm sitting back waiting to see Swaggy Jazzy take that tune, but I'm gonna see how long it take for her to take that 2 times off her shit.
Every man that's been locked down hope they gonna have a woman that's gonna stay down for him. As time goes on, it becomes harder and harder to deal with the loneliness and deny the onslaught of brothers trying to get at them, some of which are current or former associates of their incarcerated lover. If time reveals that she does stay down, all we can do is salute that, for real. This Casanova situation proves to be another sad tale of what the gang life has waiting for you, especially if you ever see success outside of the set. Will people learn their lesson anytime soon? I highly doubt it. That's okay, because I know some of us will, and that's what matters. One day at a time, brothers and sisters. I hope bruh keep his head up and do what he gotta do to get out alive. In the meantime, all we can do is stay smart, stay alert, and stay real. I'm out, y'all.